Welcome. Welcome to this Chi Cultivation Yin class. Today we're going to start in a stance actually. So coming up onto your 2 feet, place the feet down onto the earth, hip width apart, soften the knees. And let's take a big breath in and exhale the air. We're going to start with a chi massage by tapping either the finger pads or the knuckles along the sternum and then around the whole surface of the lungs. And now I'm going to use my knuckles, take left arm a little out to the side, and I use my right hand or the knuckles to tap down along the inside of that arm. Once you're at the wrist, you turn the arm over and tap all the way up along the outside of the arm, tap the shoulder, and then let's change sides, tapping the inside of the right arm all the way down to the wrist, turn the arm over and tap up along the back side, the shoulder. And then using the finger pads again to apply a little bit of a raindrop massage around the neck and then the scalp. See if some raindrops are coming down onto the scalp. Bit of pattering, and then the sides, side waist, and the low back. Here I'm going to use the backs of the hands to gently tap around the area of the kidneys. You can even take a little rub there. Give those kidneys a little love. And then tap along the outer legs, all the way down and up along the inner seam of the legs. And then let's go back to the kidneys. Take a generous breath in. Exhale and just feel this in the body. Now from here, we're going to use another little technique or tool called spinal cord breathing. Elbows come out wide as the chest lifts, and then we bring the backs of the forearms to touch as we round the spine. So each time you inhale, you open the chest, elbows wide. Each time you exhale, the backs of the forearms touch, you round the spine slightly. Now you can also open the chest a little to the side on that next inhale. Open the chest to the right or left. And then come into that tiny little fold again. Inhale to open. The exhale to fold. Inhale to feel into the front of the spine. And the exhale, feel into the back of the spine. Now fold all the way forward. Loosen the neck. Now I'm going to widen my feet a little to come into a squat. Just a few moments here in that squat to feel into the inner thighs, the inner hips. You might even want to gently push one leg open with your hand. Just moving a bit from side to side. And as you do, you can also feel the ankles, the feet on the floor. Let's stay for another 1 or 2 breaths here in this hip opening fold. Now I'm gonna sit back most elegantly. And we're going to use now an acupressure point that can be found in the webbing between the first and second toe. So if you look now at the foot, I'm looking at my right foot. There's that webbing between first and second toe. So if you push in a little with your fingertip, where the bones start to merge or meet just in front, there is that liver 3 point that we want to massage a little. So now you can choose to either use your thumb or maybe index and middle finger, whatever works best. You could keep the foot down on the earth, or as I did it, I just lifted my foot onto my other leg. So just applying a little bit of pressure, a bit of a massage first, but then staying with a bit more of a static pressure without tensing up anywhere else. Just applying a little acupressure massage on the liver 3 point that helps us to distribute our energy smoothly in the body. An even and harmonious flow of qi. Now I'm going to stroke that out along the inner seam of the leg. And I'm going to move on to the other side. So you could potentially also work on both sides simultaneously. But for today, I'm just going to work on them individually. So again, finding that webbing between first and second toe. Taking your finger in until you feel the bones merge. Just in front there's a little hollow, little mold. That's where we put our finger in. And apply a bit of a massage. And sometimes that point feels very tense or tender. So you might want to massage first to feel into it, and then apply a little bit of a more static pressure of that liver 3 point. Now the liver and the gallbladder form an organ pair according to the 5-element theory of traditional Chinese medicine. Those two organs are associated with the season of spring. They also, well, the liver in particular, is responsible for a smooth and harmonious flow of qi in the body. What we would like to all have, because it feels nice, the body feels at ease, there is no stagnation. So we really try to cultivate that today in this practice. Bringing the legs now apart, wide-legged position. And from here we take a forward fold, so different options for different bodies. I don't really have any props with me here today, but if you have something at home, you can of course use it. You can come down onto the elbows, rest your head in your hands. You can come down onto hands, forearms. Some of you might want to use a block or any other prop that you have at home to rest the head on. And then remember, in Yin, we're only seeking an intensity of about 60 to 70%. This is done intentionally so that we can release most of the effort and we can really come into a state of softening, state of yielding. So now we're gently tugging and opening all the tissues in the inner legs, which is where that liver meridian runs along on both sides. See if you can really release all that effort and just sink into this shape. Taking another breath into the back of the body. And slowly, slowly coming back up to the surface. Now let's retreat, come back onto your back and take a moment of rebound. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze. Feel the effect of the pose leaving the body. Now that next pose that we're going to move into is a twist. So there are different options to take that twist. I'm going to shimmy my hips a bit over to the right, and then I'll wrap my right leg over the left, coming into twisted roots, taking the knees all the way over to the left. So as you can see, my one knee stays off the floor quite a bit. If this is not overly comfortable for you, you can stack both knees and find a twist like this. Or you could also extend that top leg away from you out long. Use again any kind of props that you have there. Maybe you wish to put something underneath that top knee. So really making the pose accessible for your body. And then allow the arms to open, the palms to face up. You can add a little bend into the elbows or just have the arms out straight from the shoulders. Allowing the backs of the shoulders to soften and melt towards the earth. The whole weight of the legs sinking. And the belly is soft. Over the next few rounds of breath, we're gonna move back. So taking your time, ever so gently release the shape and find your way back into that rebound pose where we allow the tissues to realign. A moment in between. Now let's prepare for the other side. I'm now going to shimmy my hips a little bit over to the left. And then I take my left leg over the right for that twisted roots variation. If you are not keen on having the bind in the legs, again, you could stack both knees or you could extend that top leg out long away from you. Choosing to use any props underneath that top knee. And then open your arms wide, allow the palms to look up. Soft and hollow palms. Shoulder blades, back of the shoulders, spacious, sinking towards the earth. And then we take a few moments of stillness in this shape. Now let's take another gentle breath in. Long breath out. Over the next few rounds of breath, you're going to release the pose, untangle those legs, and come back to rest in that rebound shape, which is almost like a mini shavasana. You can feel into the right side of the body, the left side of the body. I'm going to take my arms up and I'm going to find a shape called banana. So see if you could keep the pelvis and the shoulders on the floor and just slide your arms over to the right and your feet over to the right. So if someone looked at you from above, you would have that crescent shape of a banana. Now there's an option to hold one wrist or stack the hands. Some people can hold onto opposite elbows. And just keep it in a relaxed way. Remember, we're only seeking an intensity of 60 to 70%. Now maybe one foot crosses over the other, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the left foot crossing over. It could also be the right foot. Now feel into the left side seam of the body. We're pulling that whole left side seam of the body a little longer. Gentle tug along those tissues. The whole side seam of the body is where we find that partner of the liver, the gallbladder meridian. So let's stay for a few more breaths, creating a bit of space in the side seam of the body, nourishing the energy of the gallbladder. And slowly releasing this crescent shape and find a more straight version of yourself for a few moments of rebound. Now we're going to work also into the other side, creating a little bit more space now. In the right side seam of the body as you slide hands and feet all the way over to the left. Remember the backs of the shoulders, the whole pelvis still on the floor. We're not lifting one hip off the floor. It's just the arms and legs that are turned in that shape, in that crescent shape. Maybe one foot crosses over the other. Maybe one hand rests on top of the other, or you're holding onto a wrist ever so gently. And now feel into whole side seam, this exposed side seam of yours. On the right side, creating all the space there. Now let's take another generous breath into that right side seam of yours. And exhale completely. And then we slowly begin to slide arms and legs back. Now return to your rebound shape. Now in this final rebound, taking the time to feel into the body. Notice the energy within the body. Feel free to stay for as long as you like. Now I'm gonna leave you here. I say thank you for the practice.